Hello, Tim here. I'm going to show you my Dragunity deck. It's based on the engine, but I made some changes to it, so I don't really run some of the bigger monsters like Librarian and Mistletoe. So here it is, the basic engine, standard, 3 Dux, 3 Duxes I guess, 3 Legionnaires, 2 Aklyses, 3 Phalanxes, and 1 Darkspear. Okay, that's all the Dragunity, quote-unquote Dragunity standard effect monster I'm running. Here's some more effect Veilers, Sangan, and for a little bit of defense and option, I use 3 Tengus. And I am running the Fabled Cerburrel and 1 Zephyros. Okay, those are the monsters. Okay, now for the spells, start with standard stuff. 3 Ravines, 3 Terraformings, 2 cards of Consonances, 1 Book-a-Moon, 2 MSTs, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Trunade, 1 Reborn, and I'm running 1 Pot of Avarice. For a little tech I'm using, or trying out, 1 Forbidden Lens, and Creature Swap. It's been actually working out pretty well for me so far. Okay, now for traps. As you can see, I'm not running a lot of traps. So let's start with running 3 Decrees, 1 Compulsory, and 1 Debunk. I don't have any warnings, so I'm not running those. Okay, now for the extra deck. 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Brionac, 1 Colossal Fighter, 1 Dearg, and 2 Vajrayana, 1 Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 Scrap Dragon, 2 Stardust Dragons, 1 Librarian, 1 Trident Dragion, 1 Trishula, and for the XC monster and extra option, Utopia. Okay, now for the side deck. 2 Koa'ki Meiru, 1 Malefic Stardust Dragon, 1 Owl of Luck, 2 Prohibitions, 1 Burial from a Different Dimension, 1 Gladiator Taming, just for fun, 3 Light Imprisoning Mirrors, 1 Dark Bribe, 1 Soul Judgment, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, and 1 Compulsory. Okay, now for the reasons that I run some of the cards, beyond the standard ones that people use all the time. Darkspear. The reason that I run him is because, first of all, it gives me options to synchro into level 7s with either Dux or Zephyros, or even Tengu. Okay. Also, another option is that I can sometimes, if I have, for example, Tengu already on the field, or Zephyros or something like that, I can summon him and use his ability to summon another level 4 Beast monster and exceed for Utopia. That's one of the options there. And the reason that I run the Fabled Cerburrel is because he is just a good discard card. For example, this is usually the basic setup. Most likely you're gonna have a Phalanx in the graveyard, and obviously for this to work you're gonna need Ravine on the field, and probably some other cards on the field, like probably a Royal Decree or some other random face down card that you need, that you have there, or not, but it's up to you. But this really gives you a lot of options, because right now Dragunity needs options, and they are lacking in it. So for example, if you discard Cerburrel, and you can search for any of your Dragunity stuff, you probably will search for Dux, and then he will summon himself to the field. Then you can summon Dux and do your shenanigans that you usually do with Dragunities. Actually you can either, for example, like synchro into Vajrayana or Dearg, or Brionac if you want to bounce something. And then again you do, but this time you use Cerburrel to synchro into random level 8. So, and now you can either use, like for example, like Scrap Dragon's effect to destroy the card on the field, or if you want to push for the win, you can synchro again for Dragion and hopefully attack for 9000 if the field is clear. That's why I run Rare Decree, because just to give me some options for OTK if I need to, if it's available. Okay. Okay, another card that I use are actually cards. Tengus. Well, they are just all around good cards, and they can be kind of annoying for your opponent, because they have to find a way to spend resources to get rid of it. And it's good for defense too. Like if you're running out of things to defend yourself, at least you'll at least block 1 or 2 attacks. And also, after your opponent spending resources to get rid of him, they have fewer resources against your main cards like Dux and Phalanx and those kind of things. And it's good for synchro and exceed into level 4s or rank 4. And another one that I use, Zephyros. It's really good actually, especially for this deck, when you can also synchro into all your Dragunity Knights with him. What I usually use with him is to bounce my Ravine back, or some other cards that I may need at the moment. Like I can't cast Ravine, or maybe it's already on the field, I discard him, search for Phalanx, summon him, bounce it back, and use again, and toss it for something else. And this really makes getting Trishula out first turn really easily. So Ravine on the field, dump him, and search for Phalanx, and bounce your Ravine, and with Zephyros' effect, cast Ravine again, dump Phalanx, search for Legionnaire. Use Legionnaire, summon, and synchro for Trishula. That's really easy. You can also use it with Tengus too, that's why I run them. Right? Okay, another card that a lot of people are not running is Dearg. It's kind of like a mini Dragon Ravine. I mean, like when you don't always draw Ravine or Terraforming, so might as well have something on the field that you can synchro and defend into, and then probably, because you can usually only dump one of the tuners like Phalanx or Aklys, and it's probably good to get your graveyard set up as early as you can, just in case your opponent started using things like Dimensional Fissure, and you won't get a chance to dump anything to the graveyard for a little while unless you MST it. Also, you can also search out. Can also be used to search out Zephyros, and you can just search him out and dump him, and bounce something else back and summon him. And if you still haven't summoned this turn yet, assuming Dearg can survive one turn, you can pop a synchro or pop a tuner for synchro or something like that. Okay, another card that I find actually quite interesting to use is Creature Swap. I don't know, because there's always seems like there's always big monsters running around, especially with the Exceeds coming out. I just like to take other people's monsters and not give it back. And since you run a lot of weak monsters like Legionnaire and all the Dragon tuners that you're running, so might as well give them one of those weak ones and use their big monster to attack it, and they'll take damage themselves. And sometimes it also disrupt your opponent's setup. Like for example, they may have only Kagemusha setup, may face down or face up, whatever, on the field, and then you creature swap it so they can synchro into Xian. Actually, one time at regional, I managed to creature swap someone's Xian. It's kind of fun. And Forbidden Lands, well, like I said before, like Dragunity really lacks defense, and that even though you can switch cards out through Ravine, but your resources run dry really quickly, so it's sometimes important to keep your monster on the field as long as you can. And it's just very good because, for example, if they try to bottomless or whatever to your monster, you can just lance it. Or when for example, when your Dux got Veilered, and it's only 1700, so it's gonna get run over really easily. So you can always set this card down and then hopefully help you defend yourself a bit more, because it's minus 800 is pretty big. And as for the traps, I'm running 3 decrees because traps are just annoying, and I really don't want to run into any warnings when I'm trying to do all my combos. It's just good for OTK option, and it's kind of like to me it's a better version of trap stun. And Compulsory, well, with all the Exceed and Synchro monsters out there, they don't really defend against bouncing. So this is pretty good. You can bounce almost all the Exceeds out right now, because they usually only have defense against destruction. And well, if you play Dragunity, you know that you hate Veilers when they Veiler your Dux. So I think this has actually became really actually was pretty useful when I was trying it out. Debunk. Alright, as for the side deck choices, well, I'm not extremely serious player, so I'm trying to have a little fun with my card game. So I know some of these choices may not be ideal for a tournament situation, but it's fun. Well, the serious ones are things like Koa'ki Meiru and Malefic Stardust. It's a good surprise. Sometimes, like they usually will try to wait till you dump something through Ravine's effect before they destroy. So you play Ravine, and then they're just waiting for it, and then just Stardust them, and they're like, oh crap, they cannot destroy it anymore. So it's fun. And Owl of Luck. Unfortunately, during my regional experience, I didn't get to use it because I didn't face any Gravekeepers for some reason. I think it's just fun if you face off against a Gravekeeper. Might as well use their Necro Valley to your advantage and search for your own, and then dispel theirs. And Prohibition. I really like this card more and more. You're pretty much able to stop anything you want, and since most decks out there right now, they usually have a few key cards they need to use to get their deck get their combos going. So just use Prohibition to stop them before they even get to do that. One time I was able to, for example, like stop their Kagemusha from even being placed face down, or stop their E-Hero emergency calls, so they can't even search for them. And Burial from Different Dimension, just in case your opponent cited fissures, dimensional fissures. And just for a little fun, you know, gladiator taming. It's always fun to take other people's monsters for yourself.